Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to watch a classic here. It's called Night of the Living Dead. Have you heard of this one? If not, watch it with me. Let's check it out.
Takes you 5 minutes.
Johnny and Barbara in a cemetery.
In the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth.
Visiting Grandpa.
Remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
And the tease.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
Turns out it was no joke.
Johnny! Help me!
Here's where Johnny's head goes boom. Barbara manages to get in the car and drive away as her attacker tries in vain to get her. She ends up crashing the car into a tree, so she has to flee on foot again, but she finds a little house. She explores the house, finds a dead body upstairs. Meanwhile, her attacker is coming, and he's no longer alone. There's more of them. Here, our house is about to have another visitor. Ben, our hero. He's also fleeing. They have some trouble securing the place. Eventually they secure themselves inside, but Barbara's hysterical. Ben finds a radio.
It seems to be a sudden general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. The killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured. Situation.
Turns out they're not alone in the
It
house.
would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
There were some people hiding in the basement. Mr. Cooper, he's kind of an asshole.
Back down to the cellar, and you better decide, because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again, no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
There's more and more of them now, and apparently in addition to eating their victims, they also eat bugs.
Gotta fix these.
Mr. Cooper and his wife have a hurt daughter in the basement, Karen.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
They find a TV too.
The unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact.
Could have been some satellites from outer space that caused all this.
We'll have to hurry for our next meeting. Professor, you feel that there is a definite connection between... Definite connection as far as Dr. Keller and myself.
Doctor, please. I thought we decided that is not proved yet.
Should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death, then, does the body become reactivated?
It's only a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the street and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them.
They're going to try to cause a diversion so they can get outside and get some gas at this pump in the backyard. They found a key, and there's the vehicle. Here Ben discovers that shooting them doesn't do any good. At least not shooting them in the stomach or the chest. They do manage to get to the pump, but there's a little problem.
Hang on. Tom, you're drifting out of the truck. Come on, come on.
My jacket's gone.
Ben runs back to the house. Mr. Cooper wouldn't let him in at first. He had to bust his way in. So Ben is not a happy Ben. Meanwhile, outside, our zombies now have a cooked meal from the two who blew up in the car. Here we learn what happened to Karen.
Things out there.
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry?
And they learn how to kill them.
The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoting.
Mr. Cooper tries to take advantage of Ben again. This time Ben is having no more of it. Cooper manages to go downstairs to his daughter Karen and promptly dies. Upstairs, looks like the zombies might be breaking in. Mrs. Cooper runs downstairs to find her daughter Karen eating her husband. Meanwhile, Barbara gets reunited with her brother Johnny. Zombie Johnny. And she's gone. The zombies busting in. Ben has no option but to flee to the basement. Where he finds the carnage. And oh look, Mr. Cooper's waking up from the dead. Mrs. Cooper does the same and he shoots her too. Ben manages to survive the night. The next day, a sheriff's posse comes around and they're cleaning up. Looks like Ben's gonna make it.
Down here. All right, go ahead down and give him a hand. Go check out the house. There's something there. I heard a noise. All right, man. Hit him in the head, right between the eyes.
Or maybe not.
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
All right, let's talk about Night of the Living Dead, 1968. George Romero directed film, one of the first flesh-eating zombie films, if not the first. I think it was the first, actually. Saw this movie back when I was a kid. It had premiered on Halloween night, 1982, on MTV. They showed it at midnight. I remember I was in grade school at the time, and everybody was looking forward to seeing this because nobody had seen it yet. This was really before VCRs had really hit. Video stores weren't really around at all yet, so we're all excited about this, except Halloween night that year was like on a Tuesday night or something, so it was a school night. Nonetheless, I stayed up and I watched the whole damn thing. Went to bed at about 1:35 in the morning after watching it. I think I was the only one in my class who'd actually stayed up and watched the whole thing. Loved it. I wanted to see it. I heard about it. It was great. I remember being fascinated too because there's actually a nude scene. There's a brief scene with a nude female zombie walking through the yard there, and I thought, wow, MTV just showed a butt. How about that? So anyway, it's a classic film, filmed in and around the Pittsburgh area in Pennsylvania, black and white, obviously. You basically got zombies, people who are dying, coming back to life and eating the flesh of the living. And if you die, you turn into a zombie yourself. It's a classic tale. Only way to kill them, of course, is to shoot them in the head. These are things that, from what I understand, originated from this film, but they're zombie aspects that we use to this day, up until like The Walking Dead, which is on now. Shoot them in the head. That's the way to get rid of them, or, bash them in the head somehow. And of course, they're all flesh eaters too. So anyway, great film. Love this film. It spawned several sequels: Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. What are the other ones? Land of the Dead, and there's one or two more, I think. I can't remember them all, but I think I do have them all. I'm decided to watch these now, not only because they're great, but because I'm actually going to be going through Pennsylvania later this month. And I plan to stop at the cemetery where this film was filmed. Also stop at the Monroeville Mall, where part of Dawn of the Dead was filmed as well. So looking forward to that. So had to get this refreshed in my memory here. It's a movie I often watch every Halloween, just as a tradition from that way back in 1982. I've been doing it a lot of years since then. I think I watched it this past year as well. I think I've watched it 3 or 4 years in a row. I don't catch it every year, but often I do. So anyway, fantastic film. I'm sure everybody's seen it. It's available on Blu-ray now. I think Criterion just put this out not too long ago. This actually came out in 1998, I think. It was one of the first DVDs I ever had, and that was ever released. It's on this like hard plastic glass thing with this weird bottom here that comes out. That's how the DVD was. This actually is a very good DVD for what it was. There's a lot. This was in the public domain forever, so any company that wanted to could put this thing out, and there was a lot of shitty copies floating around. This one was actually pretty good. There was audio commentary on here by George Romero himself and a few other people as well, including some of the actors and actresses. So they actually were involved in this one, which was really cool. So anyway, I'm sure the Blu-ray is even better looking. It's probably one I'll have to pick up at some point. But again, you're talking about a classic movie here, and it's just great. So let me know what you think about Night of the Living Dead. I'm sure you love it just as much as I do, and we'll talk about it. Leave some comments down below. We'll discuss it. It's called Night of the Living Dead. By the way, this was remade, I think, in 1990. But again, can't beat the classic, right? Watch it. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments. Bye.